Hi everybody, how are you doing?
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Garrett.
And we are Diary of a Family.
Where we're intentionally living life.
I have a deeper voice tonight. I have a cold.
Somehow we went to the beach and someone got a cold.
Yeah, I've got my tissue box.
Yep.
We'll be good.
So, we just got back from the beach and we'll talk about that later, but first we have some fantastic guests. And we have been loving meeting fellow travel nurse families.
Yes. And
we have another family here today. We have Bill and Natasha Stevens from Nursing Our Travel Bug.
Yay! Nursing Our Travel Bug.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Good to see ya.
Good.
Yes. Very good to see you too. I'm not going to talk much. I'm going to let Garrett go ahead and run this show, but.
All right. So let's get this going. So our first question is, tell us about your family and how did you meet?
Well, we met ironically at work. Bill and I.
Do you remember what concert it was?
Yes, it was a hymn concert.
Huh, interesting.
X marks the spot. Thanks for joining us. They say, yay, Bill and Natasha. X marks the spot is joining us tonight. Yay.
Hello.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about your family.
Well, we got two little ones.
Not too little anymore.
No, not too little. Will is 9. I have trouble with this. And Bella is.
Oh wow!
Wow. They just had birthday.
Okay.
Yes.
Last month and the month before.
No, you're not at all. Oh, X marks the spot says upload legs happening. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's the NBA finals.
Well, it's either that sometimes Skype is a little bit delayed. So
we'll do our best. We'll talk slowly and not over each other.
all right. So how long have you guys been on the road, and what is your setup?
Well, we just celebrated our 2-year no
Awesome.
anniversary
Congratulations.
last week, actually. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So we launched May 27, 2017 from Omaha, Nebraska. We have a GMC 3500 dual rear wheel drive diesel that we pull our fifth wheel with.
Yes, and our fifth wheel is a Jayco North Point 377 RLBH. We always joke was the official RV of the Fulltime Families. It's kind of never.
Okay. How long is the rig? 42. Is it a triple axle or just double? Okay.
Just double. Yes, just double.
Wow,
It's
that's
been
really
a
long.
pretty good rig for you. You've had it the entire 2 years. Wow.
We have, yeah. That was kind of the funny thing about shopping for an RV for us. Bill is 6'10", so it was like, what do you have that he can fit in? We'll take it.
Give us your tallest one.
Yeah. I know our first rig was very short. I mean, I'm not a tall person, and I kind of felt
He's average.
closed in.
Yeah, especially in the kids' bedroom up front, since it was a front bunkhouse.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I see that Linda Rose has joined us, and
Hi,
Our
Linda.
National Adventure has just joined us.
Hi, Our National Adventure. They're like, yay, yay.
Hey guys.
Linda
Hello.
says, hi everyone. Our National Adventure says, yay, Bill and Natasha. Everybody likes you guys. Oh my goodness. Mute.
All right, so you guys are a travel nursing family. Why travel nursing, and what type of nursing do you specialize in?
Why travel nursing? Well, it all kind of started. Kind of a story. We were in Portland, Oregon, and we moved out there. That wasn't working out, so we were moving back to Omaha, and we kind of needed a job ASAP when we got back there, so we kind of jumped into travel nursing that way. And she just found a job in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is about 45 minutes from Omaha. That was her first travel assignment, and then from there, I think it's always fuzzy to me how it came about with the full timing, but at some point we were like, why couldn't we do this in an RV and just do this as a family?
So your first assignment to Nebraska, you weren't living in a trailer? You were...
No. So it was kind of a whirlwind. We moved from Portland back to Omaha. Then I got the travel nursing job so that we would have a job right away. And we just moved into an apartment. And I did that for a year before we actually hit the road as a family.
And what kind of nursing do you specialize in?
I do kind of intermediate critical care. That's funny. Like, I've always been kind of an unsettled person in my nursing career. I get bored real easily. So in my first 3 years before I even started travel nursing, I went from inpatient acute rehab to a critical coronary care unit to ICU. So like travel nursing was a perfect fit for me. So as a travel nurse, I've done everything from med surg to tele to PCU and kind of everything.
Wow, you are very well rounded. But you've been a nurse for quite a while, haven't you?
Yes, I've been a nurse for almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years in July. And then I was a nurse's assistant for 7 years before that. So I've been in healthcare for a really long time.
And Bill, you kind of have that understanding of healthcare since you were also a nursing assistant to begin with. So you can kind of understand her jokes and her stories.
Yes, and I definitely appreciate nurses. I tell her all the time, I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it. Tell me I can't even. I quit. How about that?
Sometimes Garrett tells me, yeah, I kind of see your frustration, but the story is just going way over my head. I don't understand.
Yeah, she starts talking about, this and picks us that and not this, and I need to get this to this person and this script, and I'm just like glazing over eyes. I'm like,
Yeah. Just listen, just be there, and yes, just like any other time. Yes, dear. Yes.
We're about halfway through our questions, so anybody online, go ahead and type in any questions that you have for these guys, and we'll pose it to them.
Yeah.
So you guys just finished a contract in Orlando, Florida, and spent a lot of time at Disney, didn't you? So what advice would you give to other full-time families planning on visiting?
So the biggest advice is you don't have to do it all in one day. I think that was our plan going in, was to go and just walk the park to get a good idea of what was there, and then we could kind of pick our favorite spots and go back. I think we'd been to Disney 14, 15 times, all together between the 4 parks while we've been here. But the great thing about that is Disney allows you to bring in your own food, so we didn't have to pay their outlandish prices. We could just bring in our own lunch. And you could bring in your own water, and they would give you free refills of water in the park too, so you stay hydrated.
What great service.
So you don't have to double the price of your admission just to eat and drink?
Precisely.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So you guys also just did the Tower of Terror ride. How was that?
It was awesome.
Crazy. At one point, it still baffles my mind. You're going up, but you're raised out of your seat, like you're defying gravity, and then you're just bouncing up and down, and everybody's screaming. You don't know which way is up. It was fun. That was a fun one, and I fit on it, so that's always fun.
I am a Disney. What would you call me? A Disney virgin.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been to either of the parks yet. I've been to Six Flags and other such parks, but
you're not
Disney.
a big roller coaster.
I'm not much of a big roller coaster fan, but I do enjoy going out and spending time.
That's what I love about Disney is that if you don't want to do rides, you don't have to do rides, and you can still have a fantastic day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they do a great job of entertaining you, even if it's just, a band playing in the streets or a little parade or going to the shows. I mean, I've been to several different kinds of amusement parks, and Disney really just does a good job of entertaining the entire family from young to old. Even when Grandma came and visited, we had a blast.
I'm just imposed with Tinkerbell, and oh my gosh, the girl looked absolutely.
Yeah, we've had an amazing time. Last week was like our last week to go and explore the park and, check off the last things on our list of things that we haven't seen and done. And the kids are already like, oh, we're going to miss Disney.
Did you guys see, like, any kind of... I know when I was there 20 years ago, I saw Aladdin, like, full theater, like Broadway-style productions. Did you see any productions like that while you were there? All of them.
All of them. Anything from Beauty and the Beast, that was a neat one. There was a Indiana Jones that Natasha was actually in that show.
What?
That was
Picture
awesome.
from
That's very cool.
Yeah.
But a lot of the big ones, they had shows, Nemo and
Lion
Little
King.
Mermaid. Lion King show, that was cool. They
That
had
was amazing.
acrobatic, the monkeys were like acrobats
Wow.
jumping on trampolines, trapeze, and all sorts of, it was neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no Aladdin. They didn't.
I just remember
I think that's what they do is they just constantly rotate things to keep it
when
fresh.
I went there like 5 days in a row just by myself one time, and I think I watched Aladdin like 3 times in one day, and every time it was different. Because the guy that played Aladdin, the genie, he was just doing crazy jokes every time, and it was just a riot every time I saw it.
All right, well, kind of coming off of that and Disney, it doesn't have to be Disney, but what's been your favorite adventure with the kids so far in these 2 years of being full-time? I know.
That's a hard one. We've been to, 17 states and Canada, seen the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. So, we've had a ton of adventures. Oh, wow. I guess for me, probably like Mount Rushmore was pretty amazing. We talked about that, being from the Midwest and we'd never made it there. So being able to go and see Mount Rushmore was cool. And then just being in the Black Hills. I don't know, there's something magical, about that area. Just smelling the pine in the trees and the fresh air and, just about being connected to Mother Nature in that space was something really special for me. So
I can't wait to see Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, we have so
Bill,
many things on our list.
I know. We haven't even formulated a list. Bill, what's been your most favorite adventure so far?
I think for me it's about the people and experiences. That was part of our big problem of moving to Pacific Northwest, is that we just never could see anybody. Her dad's in North Carolina, and I guess for that was the first, I think for all of us, seeing the Atlantic Ocean, there we go, which was actually, like we were chatting about, it was amazing to be in a warm ocean, because our only experience was in Oregon. It was cold, windy, sand whipping you in the face. Let's have a picnic. That was a terrible idea.
So Grassroots Living had a question for you about Disney. What is the best months to visit Disney World to avoid crowds and hot weather?
I mean, hot weather would be the summer months, but
not summer.
I would say January. My brother goes
January.
Every year, and they go in the beginning of January, which is because a lot of people go around.
Right. So Christmas just after that holiday rush.
School breaks or whatnot.
Exactly.
So probably January. They go there every single year. Because the crowds are less, and they hang out at Epcot a lot.
X marks the spot said they experienced Disney. We made the mistake of going in July, not doing that again. Richard had to wear his Ted hose by day 3, so that was rough on their bodies, sounds like.
Oh yeah.
I can't even imagine. Last week we finally reached like consistent 90-degree temperatures, and it hasn't rained
Ooh.
in probably 2 weeks, and it was just
Yeah.
hot.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, so I can't imagine July or August in like the peak of summer. No way.
Okay, Linda Rose said.
yeah. I did see it. I'll read it now so you don't have to
Repost it.
repost it. So Linda sent me a question earlier because she wasn't sure whether she would make it in time.
Okay,
So she wanted to make sure her question was in. And it's for both Carolyn and Natasha.
Okay.
To date, what has been the most rewarding thing you have experienced as a travel nurse that you hadn't expected would be rewarding?
Ooh.
I can read it again if...
Yeah, read it one more time.
To date, what has been the most rewarding thing you have experienced as a travel nurse that you hadn't expected would be rewarding?
Do you want to answer first, Natasha, or do you need more time?
Hey, Gifford's on the go joined us. Hey,
Sure,
from
sure.
Alaska.
The thing that comes to mind for me was actually our first assignment together on the road in North Dakota. That was the first time that I was nominated for a Daisy Award. I actually got 3 nominations. So that was really special. And I remember it was actually from all 3 people of one family. And I remember the patient, and I'm going to try not to get all teary. It's not working.
Deep breath.
But, right. My patient I think she was 84 years old, and she was in with severe congestive heart failure, and it was just no coming back from it. And I remember her family she was actually visiting from Washington where she lived, but she was originally from North Dakota. So she had family who was, all trying to gather in and come in and see her and say goodbye. So it was just kind of holding her hand and holding their family's hand and kind of being able to be there for them. So that was probably my most special, rewarding moment as a travel nurse, which that could have happened anywhere, but I got to
Exactly. I've been in that situation where, this is it. This is the end of the road, and family's unsure of what's going to happen. I can hear the emotion in your voice, and I've been in those situations. A lot of those patients that, there's just no more hope, and now we're going into the next step of life, that death and dying process. They come from the ICU to a med-surg floor, and we care for them in those last moments. And I've always felt like I was honored to be that person, to help walk the family and the patient through that moment, both when the family's in the room and when the family has already said goodbye in the ICU and they don't come to our floor. Like, I've had that too, where I am the only one in the room during those last moments. I have not experienced that during my time on the road, though. They do have, they call it Grace Home. It's part of the unit. It's like 5 beds that they put comfort care patients into, but they have never assigned those patients to any of us travelers. I think they, there's a special thing they do for their patients here in Shreveport. So I don't have anything like so emotionally, I don't know, bound up experience. That's amazing that you were nominated for Daisy Award on the road. Like, as I was leaving my job, we had started the nomination process. I was on that team to choose who won. And I thought, well, because I'm on this team, I'm never going to be chosen for a Daisy Award, right? And then I'm going to go on the road, and I'm never going to get the chance to be nominated for a Daisy Award. If none of you know what that is... Yeah,
please explain for us non-medical people.
Look it up. So a family of a gentleman who ended up passing away created this, I don't know, what would you call it? A prize. It's more than a prize. It's an honorary thing for nurses. And so your hospital can decide to do the Daisy program, and family members and patients and even coworkers can nominate you for the Daisy Award as an RN. Sometimes our CNAs get nominated and they get a special pin, but they can't win the award. But a story needs to be written about how you impacted the family member or the patient in your interaction with them. And it comes with a lot of different things. Even the nomination comes with things. And you get this amazing little statue from somewhere in Africa, from this village that creates these statues just for this program, and it kind of supports that village as well. Cinnabons are another thing that are like this thing that you get during that honorary program when you're awarded this, because the gentleman that the family created this award around, he couldn't eat much in the last few weeks of his life, and the only thing he wanted one day was just a cinnamon roll. And so his dad got him one, but he said, I want you to bring a couple of boxes for all the nurses on the unit, because they've been touching my life, and being there for me. So it's just a really cool thing that you got nominated on the road. So maybe I have hope of becoming a Daisy nominee, or even winning it.
I didn't even know I was nominated until I think it was my next contract, and the manager in North Dakota had contacted my travel agency, and they mailed it to me.
Wow, that's so neat.
Wow.
I have, here in Louisiana, I feel like the most impactful thing for me has been how much more my patients feel like they need to appreciate me. Like in Washington, you didn't get that. I mean, every once in a while, that little old lady, oh, thank you so much. You've done so much for me. But I'm just going about my daily care of my patients, and almost every single one of them is, thank you so much. You've done so much for me. Some of them want to give me hugs as I'm discharging them. It's so much more, outgoing here and appreciative. They really do appreciate you. I don't know. They show more of their appreciation.
It's a Southern hospitality.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. In Washington, it felt like they were like always demanding, I need my payments now. The patients here are just like, oh, I think I'm ready for pain meds. Thank you so much for coming. I don't know. It's so different. So different. Okay, we've had a lot of comments here. Giffords on the Go came in. Garrett, you want to read this one?
So we have great respect for all the nurses for all that the nurses have done and in hard time. Thank you for all you guys do. Then Linda Rose said, Carolyn, it's still an emotional experience to be there to help in the ways that you did. Wow.
Yeah.
Then Giffords on the Go said, all hospitals should participate and let families know. Nurses are many hospitals' unsung heroes.
Yes.
I've seen with that.
Amazing heroic acts by fellow coworkers that, I'm like, I want to emulate this person.
Yeah. So Linda said, that's an amazing story of how the Daisy Award even came about. Thanks for sharing that, Carolyn.
Yeah, I wish I could further, there's so much history in it. I can't do it justice, but you can find the information online very easily.
Yeah.
Our national adventure says Southern hospitality. Yes.
It is a thing.
It's the South. We love to show hospitality.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel so everybody's saying yes sir, yes ma'am, and it's not natural for me to do that, and so sometimes I wonder if I come off sounding rude. I mean, I'm polite, but I don't sound as polite as other people.
It's like a lifetime of breeding.
Yeah, it is.
To get that kind of a...
Linda Rose, it's the South. We love to show hospitality. It's been pretty funny. I think I've said this before. It's so politically correct with my coworkers up in Washington, and then I come down here to a Christian organization, and everybody's all like on the in the staff. They're all like cussing and swearing and doing like your mama jokes and things like that at the nurses station, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so different. Like I had to laugh though because I could see it was all in fun and in jest, and they're trying to be lighthearted, but they're all very professional in front of their patients.
So you guys just finished up your contract. Where are you heading to next?
Ooh, yeah.
We are headed to New Haven, Connecticut. So she works. Today was kind of her day off, and we'll
Stretch of 5.
5 shifts.
Woohoo.
So she's working. She worked Friday, Saturday. She was off today. We went out to Tampa to a baseball game, and she works tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we hit the road Thursday.
Oh my goodness!
She starts the following Monday, so we're kind of booking it up.
Wow, what is that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What? 4 days?
4 days to go up the East Coast?
We don't normally do that. No, normally we take a week off in between assignments. I do normally finish off the assignment like the first half of the week. That way it stretches to almost like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
But this new contract only does orientation every other week. And of course, the week I want to start is their off week. And we couldn't delay an additional week because that's 2 weeks without pay. And then we would lose our insurance. We have to have medical coverage because Will has asthma.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You do what you have to do,
so
right?
we said, okay. Exactly.
But you're doing your research so you have a place to land as soon as you get up there. Got an RV park figured out. That's always our concern. Like, we need a little bit of time to get over there and figure things out.
Yep.
Well, we just kind of book it sort of blindly. We call a few places. We look online. We look at overhead, Google Maps, satellite, and all that stuff to kind of get an idea. And then there's not really a whole lot of options up by there. So kind of take the best of what sounds good and just pick it, and we're sticking to it, I guess, for 3 months.
So with the rig your guys' size, do you have to take a special route to get there, or have you researched a route that would accept your rig size?
So we use a trucker GPS. We have a Garmin diesel cam.
Okay.
And with that one, it gives you options. You can either plug in options as a car, or you can plug in options as a travel trailer, and you can put in the dimensions of what you have for your rig. I think you can even put in dimensions, like if you had a Class A or what have you.
Okay.
But that kind of keeps us to the main roads that are truck accessible.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like that might be something we need.
Yeah. We've been pretty lucky, but
usually it steers us right, but sometimes, like when we were in North Dakota, it had us going down, like it wanted us to go down a farm access road. Luckily, we stumbled upon a farmer in his combine and says, "Oh no, you don't want to go down here." And this was the first time we'd had the rig, the first assignment, and we had to back up and go back down this gravel road. I mean, he was God's little messenger. I mean, he guided us the whole way, so it turned out okay.
We've had some incidences here. The internet or something is so spotty here because he'll have Google Maps running and it will just all of a sudden he's off, or he's stuck, like the little arrows going back the other direction or not moving at all, or we're still like 20 miles back and he's like, what's the next turn? And so I'm constantly pulling up my iMaps and trying to, hopefully, sometimes it's been frozen too, but look ahead and kind of say, okay, well, this is where we're at, this is where we need to go. But that's not taking into account like low passes and bridges that we can't go over or anything like that. So why don't you guys send that information to Garrett about what you use, and he can put it in the description for our viewers to take a look at and see if it's something they want to do. Let's catch up.
I think we have an Amazon affiliate.
Awesome! Perfect. Let's do that.
We need to get me one. We need to get ourselves.
We need to get something like that. An affiliate link. Okay, we got some comments coming in here. Garrett, you want to read them?
Said maybe hard to locate an RV site in Connecticut, which you kind of already mentioned. Tolls will kill you on your way north.
Ooh.
So have you guys figured out how much it will be in tolls to get up there?
Well, we put it. See, I guess we haven't plugged it into our GPS yet, but we put it on Google Maps, and you can click on avoiding tolls. And I also spoke with the Setzer family, who's up They're from
Maryland.
southern Pennsylvania, northern Maryland.
Maryland.
Okay.
And he was telling me, do this, do that. If you go over this bridge, there's $100 toll probably. So we're kind of avoiding tolls. We're trying to anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
If we can. It's not adding too much time. And
Always.
I think New York City, going around New York is going to be like the trickiest area as far as tolls, but we're trying to swing as wide as we can into Connecticut.
Good. Well, it's always good to know one of the locals, right? And
Yeah.
it's so great, this community. You can find somebody who's from there and knows exactly what you need to know.
And sometimes having a good old road atlas when you don't have internet is also helpful. Says X marks the spot.
Thanks for that. Yes. Linda Rose says Connecticut in the summertime will be a lot better than Connecticut in the winter.
For sure.
Unless you like
Sure.
the snow
Yeah.
and cold.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've been apprehensive is hitting the East Coast in our trailer, because I'm just like, I don't want to be eaten alive with just the tolls and like trying to, because there's just expressways and toll highways just everywhere, and trying to avoid it is just annoying.
But if we do the East Coast, we're kind of thinking of doing it going south. So X
Yeah.
marks the spot saying tolls will kill you on your way north. So yeah, we won't go north.
So did you guys?
Keep you updated.
That's the plan.
So did you guys get, what is it, the Sunrise Pass for the toll roads in Orlando?
Yes. I initially, like the first week, I would commute back and forth when I did training in downtown. And when I got the Sun Pass, it cut at least 15 minutes off of my commute. And that was just to the one hospital I was working at,
Okay.
let alone the other two hospitals I had to work at. So yeah, we got the Sun Pass. I think we averaged like $50 a month. No, maybe not quite that much. Maybe $30 or $40 a month.
Okay.
Between work and then going down to Disney, because we were also taking tolls to get down there as well.
So overall, it's not too bad, and if you budget it into your daily activities, it's manageable.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, did we get all the comments? Linda Rose.
So X marks X marks the spot. Said Cape May Ferry was great, but don't try with a $5.
Cape May Ferry.
Oh, is that the one that our National Adventure took? I saw that they just went on a ferry somewhere.
I think that was that in.
By the Hamptons.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly where they were.
they're moving so fast I can't even keep up
I
where
know.
they're at.
We think they're in one state, and when we get a hold of them the next time, they're
we're
2 states away. Or
we're in Tennessee now. Oh, we're heading to New York. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Linda said Florida is crazy with tolls too, just not as bad as the Northeast.
That's true. That's true.
So
I don't know. I was explaining to Garrett. I kind of have gotten this like itch, this feel like we're sitting still in one place too long. Do you get that feeling? Like, gosh, we need to be going somewhere. It's too long in one place. What have you done to like help you get through that feeling?
I think for me, it's like almost like after month 2. Like even somewhere like New Orleans, where there's a lot to do, but a lot of it costs a lot of money. But you feel like you've seen it. You're like, okay, this, because I guess for us, we're searching for the place to settle down to. In a way.
yeah.
So we're like, okay, this isn't it. I wouldn't want to live here. Let's go. And then, but then it's just finding new experiences, finding new stuff. Like we went down to the Gulf when we were in New Orleans. So I figured, we'll just drive down there one weekend when you're off.
Well, we make checklists, I think. You know, it's usually, like you said, that 2-month mark. We've seen most of what we wanted to do. We've experienced it. We're ready for the next thing. So we make a checklist of like, okay, what haven't we done yet? What could we do to fill our time? So, and that last month just flies by. When you're going and you're doing things, you're checking off that list, you're getting the RV ready and packed up, you're kind of tying up the last shifts at work, and then before you know it, like, oh my gosh, I have to go.
Yes, and you know what? We're kind of in that situation right now. I have 5 weeks left to go. So, I mean, that's not very many shifts at all, and we're in that process of starting to look for the next location, and that kind of up in the air, like we're not sure exactly where we're going yet, and the process of applying for a license to that new state, I have to do that headache. every
Yeah.
single time. I checked the internet today to see about Washington, because the last I knew, for the compact state licensure, Washington had it like it was in legislation, and so I checked the website today, and Washington was dark again, so I think that it didn't pass. I'm like, darn it. I know, because that would make it so much easier. But anyway.
Yeah, I can't imagine not being compact.
Yeah.
And having to apply for a license for every contract, because that really limits you then. Like depending upon how fast you can get your contract,
right,
or if the facility will let you interview without having the license.
Exactly. So I'm kind of having to apply for a license off of the recommendation of, like, I gave this broad area of where we kind of wanted to land, and off of that, the regional person said, well, this one area here, Flagstaff, they're not really hiring much, but I see great opportunity here in this other city over here, and I'm not going to say it because we don't know yet, and we're not going to put it out there yet. So off of his word, now I go to that state licensing board, and I apply for and pay for and get this license, and it takes 4 to 5 weeks for this particular state.
Yeah.
And I don't get refunded by my company until I work in that state. So I already have my Texas license and ended up not getting a contract in Texas. So I haven't been refunded yet for that.
They wanted a nurse with travel nurse experience.
Yes. So Louisiana took me. I got their license, got refunded for that, and we'll have to come back to Texas to get refunded for that. Like, I have to work a contract in Texas now to make it worthwhile. Otherwise, I got this license and didn't use it. And it's like a lot of money. X marks this.
Or just move to Texas and be our neighbor on Rainbow Drive, Livingston, Texas.
Well, we were wanting to change our domicile to Texas because of the homeschooling laws and because of
all their laws,
but also their compact state.
Yes.
So we would be able to, reap the benefits of that.
So that's why we were applying for Texas first, because we were going to get all our vehicles changed, do all of that. But we found out to get the per diem money tax-free,
you had to keep a tax home.
You have to have a tax home, and you have to pay rent in that tax home. And we don't know anybody in Texas to pay rent to. So it was like, okay, either we pay Uncle Sam or we pay a landlord. So we just kept my parents' address. We already had it as our address, and we're paying them rent. But it sucks to be Washington resident as a nurse because you don't have compact.
Yeah.
Anyway, so X marks the spot said, "You just went to the beach. We are jealous." Little sunshade icon thingy there. What's that called?
We'll talk about our experience at the beach in a little bit.
Yeah, in a little bit. Linda Rose says, "Don't say it because you don't want to jinx yourself." Right? Yes, I'm not going to say where I'm going yet.
Yes.
X marks the spot says, "Carolyn, now you're an experienced travel nurse. Come to Texas." Yes, except that it's summertime now, and so it will be very hot in Texas. So we're going to wait until the holidays, and we will do Christmas in Texas. Yeah. That's our plan.
Perfect time to go. Yeah. That's when we went to Texas.
Where did you land in Texas during the holidays?
We were just outside of San Antonio in a little town called Bernie in Hill Country. And that's where we adopted our mini poodle, who we named Bernie after the town.
That's nice.
Oh. Linda Rose, lobsters and rotisserie chicken, LOL. Yes, she already knows what happened to us at the beach. Yeah. What beach were you guys at? Because you said you went to the Gulf, you said you visited the beach, and that was like fantastic. Where were you exactly? Were you at Gulf Shores, or were you...
Oh, yeah, when we were passing through from New Orleans to the rally in Florida, we stopped at Gulf Shores State Park just for one night, and we got there kind of early. But, then we went across the street to their beach area with a pier and all that. And that was neat.
I've been told that's an awesome park to be at. But you were only there one day?
Fabulous.
Yeah, it looked amazing. We definitely go back there.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff.
Oh, tons of stuff to do.
They had like a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an RV resort, but it's a state park.
Yes.
That's just insane.
Well, and my sister was explaining that to me, and she said that when the Deep Oil Horizon disaster happened, that there was a lot of damage there on the beaches, so they got like some kind of government stipend, and because of however it worked, they're able to turn that state park into so. But what I found was interesting, and I don't know if you've been on any other East Coast beaches, but there's a ton of stuff to do, around the beaches, and I've been to some beaches in Georgia and North Carolina where it's just a nice little beach town, and there's a few little stores. And here there's a full-on theme park. There was go-karts. There was
like 4 mini golf courses. There was so much there.
And then, of course, with how we burned, I'm like, oh, that's why. You don't want to spend all day at the beach. You might not make it.
Those big tourist towns we call them the tourist traps. Always reminds me, we went to Branson once. Yeah, there's shows, mini golf, go-kart track.
If you're there to burn money, yeah,
we'll take
you're there to burn money, so let's burn it.
Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up here. If anybody else wants to add any questions, I think we've gotten through our list of comments and questions online. Hopefully we answered everybody's questions well enough. Got to them all.
So the last question we have is, how can viewers find you?
Yes, if they want to follow you.
If they want to follow your journey, do they go to a website? Do they go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? Where can they find you guys?
Yes.
All of that.
We are on Facebook, Nursing Our Travel Bug. That is our name on Instagram and Twitter. Here on Facebook, and Natasha does a blog that is
on WordPress.
Yeah, www.nursingourtravelbug.wordpress.com. Also, and
yay for
Awesome.
YouTube! That's where we found you.
yes.
We're talking about buying our name.
A domain, yes.
Domain.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll want to make sure to grab that
Maybe
soon
just
before someone else does.
Yeah.
And then we can have everything centrally located, maybe with links to all.
You can always put it out there with the Fulltime
learning.
Families. We didn't really talk much about their involvement in Fulltime Families.
Yes.
You mentioned that you guys go to Raleigh, but you guys are part of Fulltime Families, as we are, and there's a few other families there. How has your guys' experience with Fulltime Families been?
Well, I think our first year we didn't really utilize the membership much. It's hard to kind of plan to go to different rallies and RV stuff around the travel nursing schedule. So that first year, we didn't utilize it, but this year, the stars aligned, and we were ending our contract and had time in between the next one where we could go to this rally in March in Florida. So that was where we met a bunch of other full-time families, and the kids have met some other families. They've got new friends they can chat with in Messenger. So that was huge for us, and now I think it's kind of a stepping stone, to connect with other families on the road. We're also part of Escapers, and I know that they do a lot of RV meetups as well, but I think those are more boondocking type things, so we have to get set up for boondocking.
Yeah, we're in that same situation too, where we would love to boondock, but we're not set up for it.
We'd be going through a lot of gas to run the generators.
That's true, especially in the summertime. I'm running an AC unit, but all right. So we will post that affiliate link in the description below for the app or the program that you use for driving.
Yep, and you can check out the blog and links to their other social media websites in the description of this video.
You guys, it's been so much fun. I can't wait to meet you guys in person. And maybe we'll have another chat live like this. I know John Farnsworth of No Ordinary Path really wants to do more let's have a nursing chat. What, kind of more of a collaboration of some sort. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah,
I'm
that
still
would
like
be
a baby
amazing.
at this because I'm only just now finishing my first contract. So, but I feel like I've got a lot to offer now that I've experienced a little bit. So can't wait till I'm 2 years down the road like you are.
Well, hey, and even though I've been travel nursing, for 3 years, like there's still so much in the industry I'm learning. So, collaborating with other travel nurses, is wonderful, and kind of, seeing how they do things too.
Linda Rose says, "Thank you, Nursing Our Travel Bug and Diary of a Family." Well, thank you, Linda, for always joining in and giving us great questions to ask those that we bring on the show. And all of you, X Marks the Spot. Who else did we have on? I forgot. I know Giffords on the Go joined in.
Our National Adventure.
The Grassroots Living piped in too. Linda Rose says, "Carolyn, you have a lot to offer, first contract or not. You keep on being the kind of person you are." Thank you so much, Linda.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun to hear from other people.
Yes.
That kind of like, they've been doing this.
Yep.
Long before we did. So, yeah. Oh, look at that. We got our sunscreen in the background.
Yes, it is.
Purchased after we were sunburned.
Yeah, we ended up purchasing, what is it? SPF 70. 70.
Because our 30 wasn't working. It works in the Northwest.
It works everywhere else but that beach or the Gulf Coast.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna pop open my stuff here.
So yes, for those of you who have not followed us on other social media platforms or didn't see any of our live videos, we went down Tuesday, right? We drove down Tuesday.
No,
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah, Wednesday morning. We drove down to Alabama. We went to Gulf Shores, Alabama for a much needed vacation, and we met up with my sister who lives in, and her family who live in North Carolina. So we were trying to figure out, hey, we're within driving distance, but to drive all the way to North Carolina would be a little too far. And why don't we try to meet in the middle? And we're like, that's pretty much like the middle of Mississippi. What is there to do in the Mississippi?
Yeah, there is nothing to do. And she's like, I want to go to the Gulf Coast. We've tried multiple times.
Yes.
Let's meet on the Gulf Coast somewhere. Pensacola area-ish.
Yep. So we were like, beach it is. And we did the research. We got an Airbnb. And we were trying to figure out, oh man, it was pretty spendy, but we split it in half. So it made it a little more reasonable. And then
we probably did pretty decently instead of dragging the rig down and spending the gas and finding a park and paying the park fees, and then still having your sister and brother-in-law to pay for their own housing because we can't fit another family of 4 in our trailer.
It would have been more expensive for sure.
More expensive. So it was better for us to do it that way, and we could go faster and less headache of setting up. And it was like a mini vacation away from the trailer. It was great.
It was awesome, and we absolutely loved it, minus
our sunburns.
Our sunburns. So, yes, I without giving you guys scars for life, I did get a lot of sunburn, a lot of sun. I look like a lobster most of the places. And
he shouldn't have had his shirt off. That was it.
Well, my body type is the type that if I get some sun, it might burn, but in a couple days it will turn into a tan, which is great.
Yes, Linda Rose. Minus the sunburns.
Mm-hmm. And I just found...
He's got blisters on his arm now,
blisters,
too.
Like
you
right
don't
here.
need to show them.
So, yeah. Sorry, I made someone drop off the wall. Sorry.
They're getting off because they're like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your blisters.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a sunburn that resulted in blisters. So we were not expecting it, and we went and we spent the whole day on the beach So on Thursday, and the kids were burnt. We were burnt. That Thursday night was just, it was miserable.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Blisters. Linda Rose says, apple cider vinegar after a bad burn, it takes the sting out. Oh, I didn't know that trick. Of course, in an Airbnb, you don't have apple cider vinegar at hand. You do have to go out and purchase it anyway, just like all the other things. Yeah. We did have aloe vera with some skin numbing. Yeah. Gifford's on the go. Have a good night.
Thank you for joining. And we'll catch your season 1 video that just got released. So.
Woo-hoo. Alaska. If anybody wants to see Alaska, Gifford's on the go. They're in Alaska this summer.
They're starting their journey up there.
Anyway, it's gotten to the point where most of these burns are healing. Emma had a little blister pop up on her nose that I'm doctoring with some ointment. But overall, she was the only one that burnt her face. Everybody else did really well at wearing hats and things.
Yep.
And then the boys... Timmy had a life jacket on, so it was just his shoulders and his neck, and then down at the bottom of his back. And then Edison, sort of the same thing, because he had his little floaty thing on. But aloe vera is great. It is amazing. My mom actually had an aloe vera plant, and I remember cutting a piece off of it and rubbing it straight on my skin.
Yep, I remember doing that. The sun is evil, says Nursing Our Travel.
Yes, the sun is very evil.
Ugh.
Evil.
I was like, how does some of these people do it? And I'm like, well, they probably don't go sit on the beach.
Go sit on the beach in the middle of the day.
I was out at 6:30 this morning doing some drone stuff at the beach. There was
it's gorgeous.
There was 5 people on the beach for like a mile. And so it looks like the beach was deserted on the footage I got, which just made it look absolutely amazing.
But then yesterday evening, we went out on the beach at like 5 around dinner time, and there were people out still in the waves as the sun was like, it was down already.
Every 30 seconds it was getting darker.
And you literally could see it getting darker, and they were still out there in the waves.
Yeah.
But it was comfortable. You didn't have that sun beating on you. It was very nice.
The dolphins decided to come out.
And
that
play.
was fun.
It was so much fun. I don't think we got footage of that. They were out too far.
So we got a date night, and we were super happy.
Are we going to tell them, or are we going to make them wait?
Well,
we got to meet a couple of really amazing people.
We did. 2 they're both full-time RVers, just like us. And one of them, Don is amazing.
Oh, you let us slip.
Yes. Well, we'll have a video
Don,
out.
From
Our Nomadic Story.
Our Nomadic Story. Don and Neva.
Yep. Well, Neva didn't make it, but Don came
did.
out.
Yeah.
But
had a good chat with Don.
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours.
2 or 3 hours just chatting. It was much needed adult conversation.
Without kid interaction interrupting.
Yes. And then the other one, you'll have to watch our video. If you don't already know, you'll have to watch our video of our date night to find out.
It was at a restaurant in Alabama, so maybe some of you can guess. Our National Adventure blisters are just no fun. No, they are not. Luckily, I have not gotten them. I'll doctor the ones who have blisters.
Yeah.
Linda Rose says, I'll bet the dolphins were an amazing surprise. They were. And, of course, Uncle Lance turned on... quiet. Uncle Lance turned on Baby Shark as soon as the dolphin fins were...
He turned it on to the Bluetooth and turned it up full blade.
Baby Shark, do-do-do-do-do-do.
I was like, why didn't you just play the theme song of Jaws?
Let's see. Linda Rose said Don Ramel, and she gave it up.
Kyle.
Linda knows.
Yep.
So, yes, we saw Kyle. She follows us on Facebook, our Facebook post. Kyle of Drivin' and Vibin' was playing at the restaurant.
Yes.
We went specifically to see him play.
Yes.
And he specifically knew that we had come to see him play as soon as we had
this sitting up on the table.
Had it on the table. And as soon as he went live, Garrett hopped on to his YouTube channel and said, "Hi from El Papi," which is the restaurant we were at. And then he
It's like, hey, I thought that was one of you guys.
Anyway.
But, yeah, we absolutely had a blast. Kyle is just as amazing in person and just as personable.
In person
In
as he is
person.
on his videos.
Yeah.
Of course, we did not get to meet either Dawn or Kyle as significant others. At some point, we'll probably get to meet them.
Yeah.
Kyle's going to be a daddy. And
How would you think of us having Kyle and Olivia on our show?
Yeah, we asked if he would be interested.
Yeah. So we have to kind of figure out logistics on getting some of these really cool YouTubers on our show.
Good night, Nursing Our Travel Bug. They said, boss has to work in the morning. Thank you.
Yep,
Much love. Thank you guys for
We
joining
had a
us.
fantastic time tonight. It was worth
I just
it.
can't wait to meet you guys. So
Yep.
thank you for coming on our show. Linda Rose. Ha ha ha. That's funny, baby shark. Yeah. X marks the spot.
We enjoyed meeting them both in Wellington.
No, you guys got to go
Kyle
to
and
Wellington.
Olivia are so gracious.
I envy everybody who got to go to Wellington, Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, we Kyle actually gave us their album.
Yes.
While we were there.
Their
So-
storytelling album where they
Yeah.
tell about how the songs came about and what was going
Among
on.
the Giants. Yeah.
So, yes.
And we've been listening to it on loop. I think I've listened to the album like 4 times now.
If you can find out how to get it, I'm sure that there's a way on there.
I think it's on
website.
Amazon or on iTunes. You can probably
Purchase
get it.
It's
Purchase
really
it
great.
there.
And Olivia actually sings the first song. So, Linda Rose, I'm happy that you guys got to have a real date night. I know it's not that often parents can get one of those when you're on the road. It's so true. But we've met some great people that I would be really comfortable leaving our kids with. We just hadn't made the decision yet to do it. So.
Well, and my mom might actually come out on our next 1 or 2 contracts.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly when.
She wants to come and see us
Yes.
and see the grandkids. And
Yeah. So we might be able to get another
date
night in there. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Linda Rose, sure better do it soon before the baby is born. LOL.
But the thing is
Won't be
that
much time for the
they're
first
trying
year.
to get their Argosy done in time for their big reveal. So I mean, Kyle came from
8 hours.
8 hours of working on the Argosy down to El Papi's to do the show
Until 11 at night.
to 11 at night. So yeah,
He's definitely working a lot right now.
yep. And I mean, he just posted a picture of them. I think they just installed the gray water tank.
Yep. He was
On
telling
the-
us about that install. So check out his video.
Yeah.
Driving and Vibin'. Shout out to them.
And if you don't know who Driving Vibin is and you're still watching, we'll put a link at the very end of this video, so stick tuned for a few more minutes, and then we'll put a link after this whole video is done,
Yeah.
so that you can go check out their channel and see.
Grandmas love to babysit, but only in short bursts.
Well, we'll see how long my mom lasts in 40 feet of glory.
Yeah, we'll see. She hasn't watched them in the trailer yet, no. But,
Yeah.
actually, my mom and his mom have both watched the kids for
A few days.
several days in a row. Yeah. So they're still pretty young grandmas. That's why they have energy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in their 70s and having any energy. But
Oof. Yeah.
I don't have any energy in my 30s.
Yeah, you're sleeping. You're
I was
working a lot.
I was trying to nap in the truck because I don't feel good, and I'm just like, I'm exhausted.
Timmy's behind him like, mom. I was like,
Stop, Timothy. I heard you the first time. What saints? My grandkids wore me out after a few hours.
I'm told that studies have shown that for grandparents watching their grandkids, it's good for your health.
It keeps you young.
It keeps you young. Maybe adds years to your life, because I know our kids are taking years away
I don't know.
sometimes.
I think they act better for grandma.
Yeah.
That's why. No, my name is no longer mom. That's right. And that is very true. Grandmas can say, nope, I can't watch them for that whole weekend. I can watch them for half a day. You'll have to find a babysitter for them. that's their prerogative. That's Grandma's prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
And we've asked Garrett's mom to come and watch the kids for us for a weekend or a day or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I already had this thing figured out." And yeah, we're adults, so we're on our own. We have to figure things out. But yeah, it's harder now that we're on the road.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, X Marsh Spot says, bet she hasn't had to sleep on that fold-down dinette yet.
We're not going to make her.
No, we're not going to make her sleep on this thing.
We'll give her our bed, and we'll sleep with the kids in the bunkhouse.
Yeah.
That's the
We have a
easiest.
fold-out couch in the bunk
In the
bed.
bunkhouse.
Yeah.
So I'll just, like, go up on the bunk with one of the boys, and Garrett can have the fold-out thing. It's just, it's not convenient when you have more than one or two people sleeping over.
Yep.
So we're thinking about switching out the couch that we have in the living room and getting something that might pull down.
Yeah. Do you guys know if IKEA or any brand like that makes a sleeper bed that might be about 60 inches long?
Yeah, 58 to 60 inches long. Can't be any longer than that.
Yeah, because the couch, the kid couch we have there now.
The kid couch.
Yeah.
It's this itty bitty dinky couch. It makes me feel like it's too small for me, and I'm little.
Mm-hmm.
It's got great storage space underneath, but that's it.
It's a box with cushions on top.
The kids are the only ones that like to sit on it.
Well, the kids don't even sit on it because they pull the couch
bounce
cushions
all
off
over
every
it.
single day, like 100 times a day. Sorry,
He's ranting. Don't rant. We just got home from vacation.
I'm tired for driving from 7.5 hours.
I asked if he wanted me to drive, but he said he was good.
I
All
made
right.
it.
You did make it. You did awesome.
So
We didn't get lost, and we went a different route up through the middle of Mississippi instead of along the coastline, so that was good. You could check to see what Costco or Sam's Club may have too. We'll be sure to do that.
nice.
Lost you. Thanks for sharing. Good night. Bye. X marks the spot.
Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you for joining. All right, so it seems like a few people are dropping off, so we'll just wrap this up because I'm sick and I need to go to bed, and we got things to do, places to go tomorrow.
Yeah, we
after
still have
sleep.
a few things left to unpack.
So shout outs. We have 454 subscribers.
Woo!
46 to go to our 500 goal. So shout out to Melissa Kadorian from Blue Dog Company, and that's a funny story.
Do we want to tell that real quick?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll just save it for a... Okay, so we saw them on our way down to Gulf Shores. We saw them pulling their rig, and they had
456.
Oh, 456. Most updated.
Okay, that's the most current number.
We saw their sticker on the back of their rig, Blue Dog Company, and Garrett's like, hey, we're subscribed to them. We're subscribed to them. So I had him roll down my window because he always has a lock.
She yelled and screamed and waved as we drove by. They were probably like...
Then, we were going much faster than them because they're hauling and we're not.
Yeah.
So I popped on their channel and found their latest video, and I said something like, hi.
We were the crazy people waving at you.
We saw you on Highway 10. Waved at you, and so we kind of got back and forth. They thought that was pretty funny. So shout out to Tina Burns and May England, who joined us as well. I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody since we're up another 2 from what I had last. This was just
no names on the other 2.
Okay, 456. Awesome.
Yep. Tina Burns is a full-timer as well. I've been friends. She's friends with a whole bunch of people on there. So all these full-timers are like friending me. I'm like, who? Okay, what group of friends are those people on? Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Garrett, read the comments from Linda.
You are never lost. According to my husband, you are only discovering new territory.
It's true. So true.
That's the best way to learn a new area. I did that when I moved up to Seattle. I just started driving and tried to figure out how to get out.
Yeah, but he has this internal compass that never gets lost. I'm always turned around directionally.
I can go one place one time, and then I know how to get there for the most part.
Linda Rose fangirling it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're an up-and-coming channel, so maybe we'll reach out to them, Blue Dog Company, and see if they want to be interviewed.
Yeah.
They got
Young
about
couple, no
100
kids. I think they
150
have a dog. Yeah.
subscribers, so
Yeah, and they've been
get to know them a little bit more.
they were heading to Pensacola as we were heading to Gulf Shores, so
They had a
You're-
little bit further to go than us.
yeah.
Anyway, I am so done.
All right,
So
we're
good
going
talking.
to north. Which way is north?
Is it up? Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
It's-
I don't know. I don't know which way I came from.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I had to use my maps like for the first 3 weeks or so. And then just as I was getting comfortable getting to work, we changed RV parks.
And then you had to do it again.
And then I had to do it again, but by that time, it only took me another couple of shifts, and then I was comfortable enough to shut it off and
Because the route,
see if I could
the route
get
was
home.
only a few turns different.
Only a few turns different. And then I actually did end up missing a turn and having to drive 6 more miles up the road, and during a thunderstorm.
There
And
was
like
a couple times I'm like, is she home yet?
I
And she's
was-
like, I'm sorry, I took the wrong exit.
I was
and
not
missed."
lost. I just missed the exit, and the highway out here, you have to go another 6 miles before you can, get to where
Yeah.
you need to go to turn around and come back. But thank you, Linda, for feeling my pain.
Mm-hmm.
That you're directionally challenged like I am. So, well, I am not directionally challenged tonight. I know that my bed is that away, and I need to go to it. So,
All right.
we love you all, guys. Thanks
Great.
for being intentional with us.
Okay, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Oh,
Honey, I just crossed the border to Georgia. Did I miss a turn somewhere? I know.
mm-hmm.
In that case, I would have been going up to, what's the state above? Arkansas.
Yeah.
I would have been in Arkansas.
Yep. That's 20 minutes away from where we're at.
20 minutes from where we're at. So, you both have a good evening and get some rest. Thank you so much, Linda. You too, get some rest. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in.
If you like that video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing and hitting that bell if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys in another video.
Live life intentionally.
Bye.